You're listening to a special broadcast of the LEBANG Show.
Bangerverse Volume 6, Marvelous Moronic Mayhem.
If you beat up for your pride and it makes you want to hide in the closet. If you choose to play with boys and they hate you for your toys and discard him. Yes, yes. Rainbow Pride. Rainbow Pride.
This place is boring. There's never anything to do here.
Well, what did you expect? Haven't you ever spent time in prison before?
Oh, I've spent plenty of time in prison, and I'm always so popular. And there's always someone new to meet and connect with. And all there is here is you. Oh, that cheap piece of aluminum.
You should be happy I clean up after you freaks. You're both disgusting.
Oh, coming from you, I'll take that as a compliment.
Whatever.
So what were you saying before I was rudely interrupted?
Keep it up, and I'll stick this vacuum hose where the sun don't shine.
Oh, you tease.
This place is more like a dungeon than a prison.
Well, maybe so, but I've had plenty of fun in dungeons before. There's not even a whip here.
You should shut up for a change.
Oh, you're so jealous.
Jealous of what?
Oh, that I have the real parts, and you're just an oversized vibrator that talks.
What about I vibrate this across your lips?
Oh, you're gonna need something bigger than that to seal my lips.
What's going on down here?
Nothing.
Nothing. I could hear the ruckus all the way upstairs.
Oh, your little wind-up doll is malfunctioning again.
I'll give you malfunction.
Oh, you've got a tight grip.
Idor, stand down.
It'll only take a minute to beat the hell out of it.
Oh, I like it rough.
I said stand down.
Nobody will know.
I'll know.
Well, then look away.
Idor, you're dismissed. Now get the hell out of here and report to Nerd Eye in the lab for a diagnostic evaluation.
Acknowledge.
Oh, run along, little Miss Batteries.
I'll be back.
Oh, they all say that.
So we recovered the headpiece and the boots, exactly where you told me I'd find them. Now that's 4 pieces you've been aware of. What do you know about the remaining extra pieces?
Oh, that's classified.
I see. What if I told you I knew of a place where we could find another one? And why would you tell us that? Well, because you already know.
Oh, what are you talking about?
We'll ask your little friend over there.
Oh, he's not so little. Have you been keeping secrets from me?
You know where the belt is, don't you? That's right, I do. What do you want? Well, I like a person who gets right to the point. I need your help, and I've got to keep it under the radar, if you know what I mean.
Oh, why should we help you?
Well, because I've got something you want.
Oh, you're not my type.
That's not what I'm talking about. But if you agree to help me, when the job's done, I'll give you the helmet.
Oh, I'm gonna need my wings and my whip.
Agreed. And I will need my saber and my power ring. Well, you can have your saber back, but you're much too dangerous to be in control of that ring. Then I want the timepiece. Well, you're already getting the wings and the helmet when you deliver. The deal includes the timepiece, or there's no delivery. Agreed. You get the wings now, and when you deliver on the deal, you get the timepiece and the helmet. Fine.
Oh, what kind of mischief do we have to get ourselves into?
Well, we're going to have to wait until you get free. Now listen, your wings are in the hangar by door number 2. Just go out the door and take off. That's just up the stairs here and to the right. And by the time anyone realizes that you're gone, you'll be out of tracking range. Here, this will help you get out of your cell.
Oh, I love screwdrivers.
I left a communication device attached to your wings. It's set to channel 13. I'll contact you when I can, and it'd be best if you wait until after the show, when we've all gone to bed. Now, good luck.
Breaker Breaker 19. Looks like I found her.
Oh, what's she doing?
Well, she's in line to buy an airline ticket. Maybe she wants to go on a trip.
Well, you better stop her. Her emotion chip's been going wacky for over a month now.
Well, I'll try, but you better send backup.
Wilbert's on the way.
10-4. Hey, Tin Can, where do you think you're going?
Why are you always picking on me?
What? That's not picking on you.
You're always calling me names.
Listen, I'm sorry. So where do you think you're going anyways?
I'm leaving. I'm not appreciated around here.
So what, you think you can just buy a one-way ticket and fly anywhere you want?
That's the plan.
Well, obviously you don't know anything about flying.
I know enough.
Oh, really? Do you know you can't bring anything metal on the plane?
What are you talking about?
That's against the rules. You might set off the alarms, and then you'll be labeled as a terrorist. And even if you're not labeled as a terrorist, you want the TSA feeling all over you?
What do you mean?
Haven't you watched those videos on YouTube? They like to touch and feel all over you.
I have rights.
Not if you're a terrorist, you don't. Now come on home and we'll talk about it.
I don't know.
Listen, you won't even be able to get a bus out of town, so you'll have to hitchhike. And you know how dangerous that is?
Not necessarily.
See, you don't know what's out there in the world. You could be running into danger, and you wouldn't see it coming. And then there's no more you. Now come on home and we'll talk about it, and I'll make you a tuna fish sandwich.
I don't like tuna.
I know what you mean. I stopped liking tuna once I got married. Now come on.
Acknowledge.
Oh, push harder. Come on, Darth. You can do it. Push harder. Oh, harder. Put your back into it. Come on, faster.
Listen, if you're gonna constantly nag me, I'm never gonna get this door open, and then we're never gonna get out.
Oh, I was just trying to give you encouragement.
I don't need encouragement. I need quiet.
Oh, I know what you need.
I've got a headache.
Oh, you always have headaches.
Now will you shut up?
Fine. I'm not gonna help you anymore.
I'd probably get more done. What a bitch.
I heard that.
You're listening to a special broadcast of the John LeBang Show.
Bangerverse Volume 6. Marvelous Moronic Mayhem. Well, that was disappointing. What happened, Uncle Shady? Marvel just trolled us, Leroy. Well, why would they do that, Uncle Shady? Well, all the big-name contracts are ended, Leroy. Maybe they just want to get some extra money. Is that why they made this movie, Uncle Shady? Well, it wasn't to tell a good story, Leroy. I know, Uncle Shady. I don't understand what was going on. That was the point, Leroy. They kept you so busy with the visuals that you didn't realize that they handed you a piece of turd. Well, how did she break his hammer, Uncle Shady? I don't know, Leroy. She's a bitch. I don't understand, Uncle Shady. Listen, when women are mad and you piss them off, they break things. But how'd she break the hammer, Uncle Shady? Have you ever seen a conniption before? No, Uncle Shady. Well, then you don't understand the power of the conniption. I don't understand how she got there, Uncle Shady. Well, Odin disappeared. But why did he disappear? I don't know, 'cause his contract ran out or something. What do you mean, Uncle Shady? Well, sometimes their contract runs out, and they just have to figure a way to get rid of a character. So they just let him dissolve into the air? I don't know if that's dissolving, Leroy, but it was stupid. Can I ask you another question, Uncle Shady? Go ahead, Leroy. How did the Hulk get on Sakaar, Uncle Shady? I don't know, he's the Hulk. Maybe he was there on vacation. But that doesn't make sense, Uncle Shady. He was in the Quinjet at the end of Age of Ultron, Uncle Shady. And that was on Earth. Well, maybe he flew it up into space, and then it found its way to the devil's anus. Yeah, what was that about, Uncle Shady? What do you mean? Well, that's a dumb name to call something, Uncle Shady. Thor's an Asgardian, and when they finally got through the devil's anus, they ended up on Asgard, so maybe that's why they're called the Asgardians. I don't understand, Uncle Shady. Now listen here, Leroy. Where do you find the devil's anus? In space, Uncle Shady? No, you find it on the devil's ass. Well, I still don't understand, Uncle Shady. Listen here, Leroy. Thor's an Asgardian, and if the devil's anus is right by Asgard, that's what it's about. They're guarding the devil's ass. And to get to Sakaar, you gotta go through the anus. I'm not sure I understand, Uncle Shady. Well, that's okay, Leroy. You weren't supposed to understand anything in this movie. Wasn't that stupid, Uncle Shady? Well, they were going after the stupid people. The people that like to spend their money and waste 2 hours of their lives. Let's just hope the Black Panther is better. Well, it looks good, Uncle Shady. Well, this movie wasn't that good. Why do you think the next one's gonna be? That's a good point, Uncle Shady. Listen here, Leroy. You gotta understand. Disney owns all this now. So they got to appeal to the lowest common denominator. And what's that, Uncle Shady? Children and stupid people. Well, maybe the Star Wars movie will be better, Uncle Shady. I doubt it, Leroy. That's Walt Disney too. And look what they did to the last movie. You didn't like the last movie, Uncle Shady? Hell no, I didn't like the last movie. How come, Uncle Shady? What do you mean, how come? It was a stupid movie. And was there a dumber way to kill Han Solo? Well, how would you have killed him, Uncle Shady? Well, it would have been something better than the way he died. Best character in the whole franchise, and they kill him off like a wimp. Well, the new one looks better, Uncle Shady. The trailers always make things look better, Leroy. Look at the Thor movie. You know, you're right, Uncle Shady. I'm hoping for one thing to happen in the new Star Wars movie. What's that, Uncle Shady? I'm hoping that Luke sees that Rey and Kylo are the worst characters in Star Wars history and kills them both. That would be a huge plot twist, Uncle Shady. And it's a perfect name, The Last Jedi. But isn't Rey the Last Jedi, Uncle Shady? Let's hope not, Leroy. Anyways, let's get out of here, Leroy. I gotta drop a deuce. And I can't use these public restrooms anymore. Well, why's that, Uncle Shady? Have you ever been into one of these public restrooms? They make all the urinals for midgets. And when I'm standing there, my schmeckle's hanging above the urinal, everybody can see what's going on. So I'd rather do it at home. All right, Uncle Shady. You know, Leroy, it's been a long time since I've been to the mall. Things sure have changed. What do you mean, Uncle Shady? You would know what I'm talking about, so forget it. So which shoe store do you want to go to, Uncle Shady? Well, let's head over to Gayless. That's the only shoe store for straight men, Leroy. But I heard they only have cheap shoes there, Uncle Shady. That's how you can tell a straight man, Leroy. What do you mean, Uncle Shady? Well, they make those expensive and fancy shoes for all those fairies. Straight men just need regular old shoes, Leroy. I'm not following you, Uncle Shady. Listen here, Leroy. Straight men just need shoes to go to work and keep their feet warm when it's winter. Fairies tend to be social butterflies, so they need fancy shoes. I just don't understand, Uncle Shady. So they can fly, Leroy. Are you sure, Uncle Shady? That's a stupid question. Even if I'm wrong, I'm sure about it.
Excuse me.
Oh, God, look at that, Leroy. What happened to her, Uncle Shady? If I had to guess, plastic surgery, Leroy. You mean she did that to herself, Uncle Shady? It's even worse, Leroy. She paid someone to do it. Why would someone do that to themselves, Uncle Shady? Because they're crazy, Leroy. But her lips are all swollen, Uncle Shady, and her face looks all stretched out. Well, maybe she wanted to look like an alien or something. Why would you want to look like an alien, Uncle Shady? I don't know, maybe she's from Mexico. Well, what about her boobs, Uncle Shady? Well, what about them? How'd they get so big, Uncle Shady? Those are called implants, Leroy. You mean like the Borg, Uncle Shady? Not exactly. More like Ditzy, just 10 times bigger. But they don't look normal, Uncle Shady. Well, I think that's the point, Leroy. If she wanted to look normal, she wouldn't have paid money to uglify herself. What does uglify mean, Uncle Shady? It means making yourself look ugly, Leroy. It's like those people who put the cow ring in their nose. They do it on purpose. But if you ask me, Leroy, she looks more like one of those sex robots I've been reading about. Do you really think so, Uncle Shady? If you really want to know, let's go ask. Wouldn't that be rude, Uncle Shady? Why? Oh, I don't know, Uncle Shady. Just seems weird. Remember when the hillbilly wrestled that alligator and you asked him why he did it? I do, Uncle Shady. Was it weird then? Well, no, Uncle Shady. Same thing here. She did it, so let's go ask her why. If you say so, Uncle Shady. Excuse me, Miss Plastic Lady.
What do you want?
Well, my nephew wants to know if you're just a crazy person who uglified themselves, or are you a sex robot?
Well, I never.
Okay, thanks a lot. See, Leroy? She's not a sex robot. What do you mean, Uncle Shady? Sex robots do it all the time. She just admitted she never did it, so she's ugly. Now let's go get my shoes. Okay, Uncle Shady.
You're listening to a special broadcast of the John LeBang Show.
Bangerverse Volume 6. Marvelous Moronic Mayhem.